Speaking with former Governor Mike Huckabee, Fox News host Mike Huckabee, turning toward the midterm elections, what's your overall prediction when it comes to the House, when it comes to the Senate?
I think the House will certainly flip Republican. I'm one of the few people who really believe that the Senate will as well. I think it's going to be a squeaker and very tight, and it might not tip that way. But the momentum to me seems very definitely in the direction of a real house cleaning in Washington. And the one thing that may keep the Republicans from having the level of tsunami that would take both the House and the Senate with overwhelming numbers is that the Republicans have not been able to define as clear a message of what they would do and why they should win. There's no doubt that people are angry at the debt, the deficits, the bailouts, the ridiculous spending, Obamacare shoved down their throat, passing it without reading it, crafting it in the middle of the night behind locked doors. Those things have outraged the taxpayers, rightfully so in every case. But the Republicans really do need to close the deal by saying, here's what we will do if we're elected. And I'm not sure they've done that as effectively as they should have and could have.
And what about some of, if I would call it even infighting within the Republican establishment? You have some of these establishment Republicans who've been taking heat from the Tea Party for attacking, for example, Christine O'Donnell. I'm talking about Karl Rove. I'm talking about really one of my favorite columnists, Charles Prothheimer, who's also come down really hard against Christine O'Donnell. I mean, like her or not, for some people, she is the Republican candidate. Do you see wisdom in some of these pundits and politicians personally attacking Christine O'Donnell?
I was very disappointed in some of the, particularly Carl and others who were so dismissive of Christine O'Donnell. I think it's not the kind of thing that helps us. And I've been on the receiving end of some of that when I ran for president. A lot of the establishment types were very contemptuous toward me and treated me like some backwater. And that's one of the things that happens when you didn't go to the right school and you're not a regular attender at the proper cocktail parties in the D.C. social circuit. Well, I never have been. I don't want to be. Frankly, that's not my world. It interests me not at all. But unfortunately, there is an elitism within the Republican establishment. And it's one of the reasons the Republicans have not been able to solidify not only the Tea Party movement, but solidify conservatives across America, because a lot of people know that it's not so much about the principles of really controlling government and having responsible people in office. It's about making sure that the right people get into the game to play. It's almost, again, to be blunt, the kind of country club attitude that we're not sure there's certain people we really want as members of the club, and we're not going to vote them in. Now, we don't mind them showing up to events to put up signs and making phone calls and going door to door making those pesky little trips that we don't like to do, but we really don't want them dining with us in the main dining room.
Speaking of